Good morning. I'm at this little cemetery in Welshpool in Wales. Now don't ask me to say the name of it because I've got absolutely no chance. Some of these Welsh words, the next one I'm going to is even worse than this one. But behind me here, I don't know if you can actually see it through the trees, there's actually a church. I don't know whether it's still a church. Looks to be domestic now. It's got a little church yard with graves. I think it might be a private residence now. It's absolutely beautiful here. As I say, I'm in Welshpool, but I don't know the name of this cemetery because it's one of those words where none of the letters are pronounced like we do in England. But anyway, we are here to visit the final resting place of an actor who I only really remember. I do remember him being a musician, or being in a band, but the thing I really remember him for was Of We the Same Pet. It could only be Gary Holton. Yeah, as I say, I only really remember him from Of We the Same Pet, the British builders that were working in Germany. This is a beautiful little cemetery. It's all very modern, very new. Well, what I'll do is I'll spin you around and I'll tell you a little bit about Gary Holton while we have a look around this beautiful little cemetery.
Gary Frederick Holton was born in Clapham, South London on the 22nd of September 1952, the first child of Ernie and Joan Holton, and grew up in Kennington. Whilst musically talented and a member of a rock band as a schoolboy at Beaufoy School, Lambeth, his real ambition was to act. Early on in his life, Holton began working in the theatre world with the Sadler's Wells Opera Company, debuting in opera appearances aged 11, and was with them for 3 years. In 1966 he had a part in Congreve's Love for Love with Laurence Olivier, and at 14 played the title role in Menotti's Amal and The Night Visitors. Soon after leaving education at Westminster School, he joined the Old Vic Theatre Company, and from there he went on to work with the Royal Shakespeare Company at Stratford. At 17 he joined the touring company of Hare and remained with them for 2 years. When he left the company, his musical talents led him to front the rock band Heavy Metal Kids as vocalist. With his Cockney accent, he became a popular glam rock singer. The band were discovered by former Dave Lee Dozy, Beaky, Mick and Titch frontman Dave D, who signed them to Atlantic Records. Their anonymous debut album was well received by the press, but had achieved limited sales. They later played many gigs with punk rock band The Adverts. On their first American tour in 1975, they shortened their name to The Kids. In December 1975, the group signed with producer Mickey Most's RAK label, but before work could start on their next album, Holton was sacked amid a storm of drink and drug related headlines. Holton rejoined the band for a handful of live shows, but the band eventually broke up and Holton returned to acting. Holton made his screen acting debut in 1979 when he played the character of Eddie Hairstyle in the television movie The Knowledge with Michael Elphick and Kim Tailforth. He also appeared as an uncredited character in the film Quadrophenia. Next he appeared in the television series Shoestring before getting the lead part of Ken in the 1979 film Bloody Kids. In 1980, he played the character of Keith in an episode of the television series Play for Today, and as a minor character in the film Breaking Glass. He also appeared as a minor character in the 1981 television film Tiny Revolutions, and guest starred as Rick Sloane in the television series The Gentle Touch. Holton also sang the theme tune to 1980's British children's drama Murphy's Mob. In the hit television comedy drama Of We the Same Pet, Holton played Wayne Norris, a carpenter from London. The character was fond of women, music and alcoholic drinks, as Holton was off-screen. Norris was the first of the 7 main characters to be cast after Gary Holton met Ian LaFrenney at a party. LaFrenney and his writing partner Dick Clement had been drafting storylines and working on an idea given to them by Frank Rodham, who was the director of Quadrophenia. The first series of We the Same Pet ran between 1983 and 1984. In 1985, filming began on the second series. The final episode of the second series, broadcast after Holton's death, was dedicated to his memory. The show was revived in 2002 with the original writers and all of the surviving cast members. The gap in the lineup left by Holton was filled by Wyman, Wayne's illegitimate son, played by Noel Clarke. While acting on Off We the Same Pet, Holton had only 2 other roles. He appeared in the TV series Minder, in which he played villain Barry in 1984. He also briefly appeared in the first episode of the first television series Ballman the following year. Holton was offered the role of villain Nasty Nick Cotton in the television soap opera EastEnders, but he turned down the role and it was instead given to Holton's friend John Altman, who bore a strong resemblance to him and would go on to succeed him as a lead singer of the Heavy Metal Kids. Holton had a string of relationships in the early to mid-1970s. In 1977 he dated singer Stella Palmer, with whom he performed his cover version of Something Stupid in 1973. Holton and Palmer got engaged on 12th of March 1977, but on 2nd of May the same year Palmer called off the engagement, stating their relationship was not going quite as planned. From 1979 he was married to model Donna Campbell. They were amicably separated from 1981 and remained friends, though they were still not divorced at the time of his death. After Donna, Holton had a relationship with model Susan Harris, who gave birth to his son Red in 1983. At the time of his death, Holton had long separated from Harrison and was engaged to hairdresser Janet McWayne. Gary Holton died from an overdose of alcohol, morphine, diazepam and cannabis on the 25th of October 1985. He was cremated at Golders Green Crematorium in London, and his ashes were placed on his grandparents' grave in Maesgwastad Cemetery, Welshpool, which is where we are today.
Well, that's all the information I could get on Gary Holton. He had quite a short career on film, but he had quite a long musical career. But anyway, his grave is up here somewhere in front of me, so I'll spin you around and we'll go and have a look at it together. Well, I have seen a video where someone else has already visited this grave, so I knew roughly where it was. It's along here somewhere. Let's cut through, make sure I don't tread on anyone's grave. It's just along here. I mean, look at this place. Absolutely beautiful. You've got the cows in the field just over the back there as well. Hopefully this weather holds. So the last few days we've had terrible rain. And I was dreading coming to Wales because what's it known for? Rain. Right, if I remember rightly, it's over here. Should be this first one. And it is. This is the final resting place of Gary Holton. Let's have a read of the stone. In cherished memory of Edward Hayton, a loving husband and dear dad, who passed away 28th of December 1970, aged 72 years. Love and peace. Joined by his beloved wife Frances Winifred, who passed away the 1st of August 1971, aged 72 years. At last, the 3 C's mum. Also their grandson, Gary Frederick Holton, who passed away 25th of October 1985, aged 33 years, a star in heaven. That is the final resting place of Gary Holton. Well, that was the final resting place of Gary Holton. Now, I must admit, I did watch Off We the Same Pet, but it wasn't my favourite programme. Well, this place, when the sun comes out, yeah, if I flick you around, let's have a look out here behind me. Look at that, when the sun's out. Absolutely beautiful. But yeah, Gary Holton, for anyone else that wants to come in, he's in the first row when you come in, literally as you drive in, and he's a second from the end if you turn right. But anyway, as I say, that was the final resting place of Gary Holton. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. But anyway, that's me, Darren, from Welshpool, some bizarre named cemetery, but I will put the name up on the screen. But anyway, as I say, that's me, Darren. I'll see you on the next one. So bye bye for now.